Great. So I will start off by sharing my screen. And we have our orientation. Perfect. As I am presenting today, I won't be able to see if you guys add a comment to the chat box right away, but definitely we'll get to it towards the end. But as I was saying, welcome to our Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning career track. My name is Molly, and I'm a student advisor here at Springboard. Excited to welcome you all to our course, and just wanted to say thank you for choosing Springboard to continue your learning with. So we'll jump in. The agenda for today is going to start off with course structure, so who can you lean on in the course when things might get tough. We'll move to course structure, the 4 different components of the course, and when you can utilize them. We'll move on to course support, which are the different people you can lean on in the course when things get tough. Next, we'll go on to tips to succeed in the course. These are tips that I feel differentiate students who are extremely successful in the course to those who might struggle a little bit. We'll move on to next steps and then finish off, like I said, with a question and answer. So, course structure. The first main component of the course structure is our project-based curriculum, meaning that as you work through the course, you will have capstone projects to submit. This allows you to have a working, really like tactile way to show your learning when presenting it to others. So project-based meaning that as you are working through, you're able to immediately apply what you're learning to your capstone projects, which is kind of like the formal assessment of what you've learned throughout your time in the course. It is curated as well, meaning that rather than being limited to in-house materials, we partner with a lot of really great programs and resources to make this a dynamic and all-encompassing course. So you'll see that you're prompted to log into Domino, DataCamp, etc. throughout your time in the course, and just know that it is outside links, but it's all still housed within Springboard. Cool. The second main component of our course structure is our online community. I think you might have seen that tab immediately pop up when I first was sharing my screen, but that is also hosted in Piazza. This is a really great place where you can go and meet other students who are in the course, both students who are in the cohort with you in this May 28th cohort, but also students who are outside of that cohort. So you'll be able to discuss and have conversations with people who are in the January cohort, February cohort, March, etc. And it's also a place where alumni can still live. So anytime you complete all of the course and apply to complete, you'll then have unlimited access to the course after the fact. So we have alumni sometimes in the community reaching out saying, hey, and it's just a great place to go to ask questions in between mentor calls. You can, ask for feedback on your on your capstone project, and just get to know others with you. I think the positives of our platform is that it is a virtual learning. It's online, meaning that you can do it anytime you want. The negatives is that you don't always get to connect with people who are in the course with you. So I think our community allows you to do so. Next is our office hours. These are every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our data science vertical includes some of our introduction level data science courses all the way to our artificial intelligence and machine learning course. So your office hours are with a group of other students. They are hosted by 2 of our data science mentors and 1 of our artificial intelligence mentors. And myself and 2 other student advisors also kind of narrate and co-host as well. So you're able to go there to get any of your questions answered. Again, between mentor calls, maybe if you have a question about like the site or a billing or logistical issue, bring those to office hours as well, and we'll get you sorted. It's just a really great way to have this constant communication with Springboard outside of a mentor call. So speaking of mentor calls, you have weekly 30-minute one-on-one mentor calls. This is your time with an industry expert. You can talk about anything regarding the course, maybe their experience currently as a machine learning engineer. You can talk to them about your capstone project. It's just really valuable time spent with someone who is an expert and really does want to relay all of their information to the new generation of machine learning engineers. I'll speak to this in a couple slides. So do know that this is an integral part of your structure and something that you can rely on once a week at the same time, same place for 30 minutes. Last but certainly not least, we have our career coach calls. Kind of more of the second half of the curriculum. You will be prompted to reach out to your career coach. They're there to provide you with all of their expertise on landing a job, interview tips and tricks, resume help, practice storytelling, designing and perfecting your personal brand. They are truly experts in that field and want to help you get the job after the course. And yeah, you will also have calls with them as well. You'll be prompted in the curriculum to reach out to your career coach and call your career coach. But do know that's more of like the second half of the course, but extremely important to take all of your career coach calls and to take that portion of the course just as seriously as you would the content and curriculum. Cool, so just zooming out, the 5 main components of the course structure, how you can use them, why are they important, and let's move on. Cool. Completion requirements, just a good asterisk here to know that you have to submit and pass all of your projects, including your capstone projects, alongside all 4 mock interviews to be able to complete the course. So it's basically just like 100% completion is the requirements. So just something good to know in the back of your head. Right, cool. Your course support. So first and foremost, you have your student advisor, me. You can contact me at any time that you need. It's just molly@springboard.com. I'm here to help with all things Springboard. So the student perspective, student side of things, Springboard platform, reach out to me. I'm there to touch base on about just like accountability, time management, progress check-ins, whatever it might be. Definitely reach out to your student advisor and I'm more than happy to help you. I will say that I am not a machine learning engineer, so anything specific to the content I sadly will not be able to help you with as much as I would like to. So anything regarding that, you have some other people who you will be contacting for that in a little bit. But alongside myself, we also have Catherine and Leo, who are support specialists. You might be hearing from them. They are just support@springboard.com. They handle more of the logistical side of things, so like billing and course access tools. So if you need help with Domino or Data Camp, definitely reach out to them and they'll be able to help you with that. Now on the other side of things, the more technical side, so people you can ask questions to are your mentors. They are all industry experts in the field who are extremely passionate about mentoring and relaying their wealth of knowledge onto the next generation of machine learning engineers. They can help with the technical curriculum part of the course. They are there to provide support and feedback and just general guidance within the industry. You do not have the name of your mentor just yet because you will be finding out who your mentor is by Friday. So by the end of the day, Friday, May 24th, Pacific Standard Time, you will have an email introducing you to your new mentor and you can find out more about them then. So course support, alongside your mentor, there might be times in the curriculum where you're like, I really need more support. I need someone else to lean on. Once a week isn't enough. We've provided you with a support for that titled Unlimited Mentor Calls. This allows you to talk to a mentor anytime, any place. That's not just your mentor, but other mentors who are in the program and are in our pipeline of machine learning engineers. They are randomly paired. They're ad hoc mentor support. I will say they are probably going to be more on the technical side of things as they will not be understanding your full background, your goals in the course, so they won't really know where you're at, but they will be able to provide that technical help if you need that immediate assistance. You can do this through your mentor call tab. Great. So next we have Luca. He is your community manager. He lives in Piazza, which is on the community tab of your course dashboard. He is your course TA who is also an industry expert, also a machine learning engineer, extremely bright person who will provide technical support, project help and feedback, response to your questions that you might have regarding the AI machine learning engineer course. Luca tries to respond within 24 hours. He does a great job at managing the community, and you all should reach out to him and say, hey. Last but certainly not least, we have our career coaches. You can call and schedule calls with them through your career coach call tab in the dashboard. That's a tongue twister. They are there to help with career support, helping you get that job after you complete the course. They look over your resume, help with interview tips and tricks, and help pretty much all that I said in the last slide, but they are there for you to lean on more of the second half of the course. So yeah, overall, kind of this, again, scoping, zooming out, you have 6 main pillars of support throughout your course, some of them being technical, some of them being more Springboard side of things, but regardless, definitely reach out and utilize them to the best of your ability. Moving on, how can we make the most of our course? So these are tips that we've heard from students and mentors alike that differentiate students who are extremely successful in the course to those who might struggle a bit. So the first thing to think about is managing your time wisely. What does this really mean? Not only is this about, having an accountability buddy, maybe someone like your student advisor, but also avoiding procrastination, managing those inevitable interruptions that will come up. This is a 6-month course. Many of us have full-time jobs, families, friends, life outside of the course, and so it's important to prioritize your education and know how much of a time commitment this course will be. Something that you can do to help with that is your study plan tool. This is also located in your dashboard. This allows you with a toggle to kind of devote time to the course depending on how much time you're willing to take each week. So basically each week is outlined as different chapters, and it gives you a time estimate of how long each unit will take. This is an estimate. I do want to flag that depending on your background, your technical foundational skills, how much time you're willing to devote to the course, this could be off for you. This is just a good comparison and something to use as a reference point. But managing your time, tip number 1. Speaking of time management, this is kind of a scope of the whole entire 6 months. Orientation, you are here. 28th, the course starts, kind of beginning to plan out what the next 5 months will be like after that. And like I said, just prepare for the course to the best of your ability and look to finish sometime around November, December. Tip 2, develop a good relationship with your mentor. So again, what does that really mean? I think first and foremost, it means treating your mentor how you would like to be treated. Definitely reach out to your mentor within the first week, letting them know what your goals and experiences are. Let them know what your expectations are for your mentorship. So if you are saying, hey, I'd like a lot of hand-holding, this is still kind of new for me, convey that to them. Let them know what kind of learner you are if you are aware. The more information you can give them and the more expectations you can set, the better your mentorship will be from beginning to end, because they are just trying to cater to you. So the more details you can give them, the better they can help you. Similarly, as the treat them how you would like to be treated, if you have to cancel or reschedule a mentor call, please let them know within 24 to 48 hours, as they do prepare for these calls and are expecting them. Speaking of the mentor calls, you can set your agenda for your mentor call. You can do this on your mentor call tab. This allows you to kind of plan what you want your call to focus on, and allows your mentor to then prepare for the call, bring in any resources or materials that they need to during this call. After the call, you will be prompted to rate the call out of 5 stars. This is where you can give feedback to your student advisor. This allows me to kind of have a sense of how these calls are going. So I know if you have taken a call, I can see if you haven't taken a call, I can kind of see who missed what call, but I also can see the feedback. So if you're sharing with me, loving this mentor, having a great experience, I know that mentorship is going well and that you're progressing through the course as you should be. If you're, rating it poorly and you're saying, I'm struggling with this, that's how I know I can reach out to you and check in on you. So this is a really feedback-driven course, and so the more information you can give us, the better we can help you, both on the mentor and Springboard side of things. The third tip that we've heard is to engage in the community. So in Piazza, definitely feel free to ask questions if you have any. Make sure you're creating and joining those study groups, making sure you're attending office hours if you can, and if you cannot, check out the live recording that we will post in the community tab. And definitely just engage as much as you can. So if you find any cool resources, post them and let other people know. Or if you saying, hey, I really like some thoughts on my capstone project. Can anyone help me out there? The more you can engage, the better I think it can be. The exciting part of being virtual, like I said, is how It allows you to work anywhere at any time, but to make those really deep connections, you have to be vulnerable and reach out as well. So don't hesitate to do so in your Piazza community. The fourth tip that we have is follow the career units. So really, if you can, prioritize the career units as much as you are prioritizing the curriculum. Don't skip them and kind of brush over them being like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. They are just as important, and it's important that you finish each unit before scheduling your career coach call in that particular topic, as a majority of the time that call will be centered around that topic. So if you skip something before you chat with them, definitely flag that to your career coach so you can come back to it later. Great, so let's move on. What happens next? Make sure you finish your pre-work that was sent out in an email by the admissions team before the start of the course. This will just prepare you and help familiarize yourself with the platform. Begin to start brainstorming and thinking about what your capstone project topics might be. I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's so early, why are we doing this? Early on in the curriculum, it prompts you to give 3 different ideas of what you would possibly be interested in focusing on. So this just kind of gives you a little extra wiggle room to really nail down what your thoughts are for the capstone project. Third kind of tab here is to meet your mentor via email. As I said, you'll be getting your introduction email on Friday. So after that, reach out to them, establish some backup links, say hey, and get prepared for that first call time. And last, do know and remember that your course starts Tuesday, not Monday, May 28th. And yeah, excited to see you guys digging into the curriculum and content, and excited for what's to come. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me at molly@springboard.com or schedule a call with me there. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have while working through the course, as it can be difficult at times. Would love to now stop sharing my screen, have you guys join us or join me, I'm the only one, on video, and would love to answer any questions that you guys might have for the course. I went through that quick, so I imagine there's some things I ran over or missed.
Hey, Molly, this is Bharat.
Hey.
I have a question. How many hours I can contact with the mentor?
How many hours?
Yeah.
So in each week, you'll have a 30-minute mentor call. So half an hour each week. Outside of that, it's under your mentor's jurisdiction. So if your mentor is comfortable with speaking to you for longer than 30 minutes, and establish that as a norm, then that's fine. But I would say that you should definitely have a conversation with your mentor, as all of their times might be different depending on if they have another student call right after yours, so on and so forth. So definitely something to reach out to your mentor about and ask them. But the current time that we establish for students and mentors to have a week is that 30 minute time.
Okay. In meantime, how can I learn about machine learning? Like, who can provide the teaching?
Who can teach?
Yeah, who can teach me?
I'm not quite sure I understand your question.
Who can teach me? Actually, I was like, here they are teaching the machine learning, right? No?
So through the course is like a self-learn. So you'll be prompted with different activities and units.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's teaching yourself. There'll be videos and there'll be places for you to go to learn more. But it's like a self-study. So you're going through the curriculum yourself. However, the mentorship is kind of a supplemental addition to ask questions and to kind of have as like the teacher of the course.
Okay, got it.
Cool. Great. I have a question on the chat. Are all meetings like with mentors with Skype or with Zoom? Yes, unless you establish a different type of norm for communication. So again, in your mentor call tab, it'll say your call's now. Check it out here. And so from there, it'll automatically take you to a Zoom link with your mentor. However, if you two decide upon, hey, this time I prefer phone call, then that's great. If you prefer Google Hangouts, again, just having that conversation with your mentor. I think the more communicative you can be with them, the better. So you can kind of choose, but it prompts you automatically with Skype. Yeah, it's all through a tab. So it's all in your dashboard. So you'll get notified of when the call time will be. You'll get a reminder. You'll get a Google Calendar invite, etc. So it should make it pretty easy and clear for you. Great.
Hey, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing the one where it's like you just pay for each month that you're in the program.
Yeah.
Will we be prompted to like with payment reminders? Because I'm not really sure when I'm supposed to make my next payment.
Yeah, great question. So yeah, there are different payment options and different payment plans in the course. For the subscription-based monthly payment, it will just automatically charge you each month, the same time each month. So in this case, the end of the month, the beginning of the new month, and it'll just be an automatic charge. If you'll need that to be paused or canceled at any time, definitely reach out to your student advisor and I can help with that. But it doesn't ask you, no. So it'll just kind of automatically charge.
So like, is there a specific date or is it different based on when we signed up or just so I know?
Yeah, that's a great question. There will be an email that'll be like, hey, your subscription charge is coming up. So I think everyone should be just the first day of the course is when I think you're officially charged. So it should be that Tuesday, but I can double check for that for you and get back to you. But I believe it's the first day in the course, and then it's just every month after that. But it'll definitely email you and letting you know that it's going to be taking the money out. But
Okay, thanks so much.
yeah, but it won't directly be me. It's more of an automated response, like, hey, you're getting charged again. Cool, great question. Someone asked, can you share how the experience of the job search will be? I'm actually not the best person to ask about that. Your career coach is someone who you can go to speak to about that. Regarding the job search process, if you are part of the job guarantee, there are different cities in which you would apply for jobs in. But again, that conversation kind of happens more of the second half of the course, and that specifically happens with your career coach. If you have specific questions about the career portion, in your student guide, it does outline some FAQs for that. So if you really want a quick answer to that before your first career coach call, I would recommend you taking a look at that. But yeah, I would say the best answer to that is to have your first career coach call, and they can kind of give you a little bit more information about that.
So I was the one who asked this question. This career coach call, like, will I be able to schedule one within the first week of start of the course?
I don't believe it's the first week, but I think within the first month, the curriculum will automatically prompt you to have a first call.
So the thing is that I'm like more interested for this job search option. So I was like looking if this course can help me out like with that certain track. So I would prefer like, is there any way that I can have like within the first week of it?
So definitely just email me and we can maybe talk about a possible solution offline. Right now, I think our current protocol is that students have to go through the course for a bit before they have their first mentor call. Their first career coach call, just to make sure everything else is in play first. So it's kind of in a sequential order. However, if you have specific needs, just email me separately and we can handle it offline.
Yeah, at least I can like get to know like how it's gonna be the overall process and like experience of it, like how I'll be getting help from Springboard in application process and like interviewing and like clearing out like the whole overall procedure. If I can get to know before I jump in, that would be nice. So I will definitely email you on this. Then I'm expecting some good outcomes that we can talk about.
No, yeah, definitely in the career coach side of things, you definitely are prompted to for interview help, resume tips and tricks, like personal storytelling, branding, all of that's covered there. So I really don't think there's much to worry about regarding the interview process. They really do make sure you're ready for the interview process. So I wouldn't have any doubts about that.
Sounds good. Let's see how it goes. Thank you.
If I'm not going to have a career change, they're an alternate to the career interview training. There is not an alternate. So if you choose not to do the career change, again, just message me separately offline and we can talk about what your options would be outside of that. But that's normally what our students go through, is the formalized content portion, and then the second portion, which is dedicated to the job search. You're more than welcome to go through the job search process just to help practice those, you know, really valuable skills that you'll learn during that time. So even if you're like, you know, I already have a job, I'm really just looking to upskill here and I'm just trying to improve what I currently know, feel free to go through that process and still utilize the resources and then not do anything with it. Cool. Next question. What qualifies as professional experience as a software engineer for the job guarantee program? I feel like that should be highlighted or outlined already before you applied. So if you have the job guarantee, all of that's already been sorted. That's more of the admissions side of things. So if you either were emailing with Rahil or Katie, I would definitely contact them about that. So you would, at this point, you would either have had the job guarantee promise or not, depending on your background or qualifications. So reach out to admissions about that if you have any follow-up questions. Someone else asked, with years of software engineering background, after the course, what kind of job can I get? Again, that's a specific question that you should go to your career coaches for. That's kind of more second half of the course question. So I love your guys' focus to the career portion of things. I can tell you're very excited for that. But the beginning of the course is focused more on the content and the curriculum, and making sure you have those technical and foundational skills first. Once we've outlined that, then we move you into the career portion. So a lot of your questions are great questions, but I would just hold off on them until you have your first career coach call. They can really answer and clarify a lot of those questions for you guys. I have a question about the time newer programmers expected to spend per week for the self-study. So you can find that in your, the question was, where could you go to figure out how much time per week you should spend? You can find that in your study plan tool, which is in your dashboard under the curriculum tab. It's like a little tiny circle. It says study plan tool, and you can click that. Again, that's an estimate, so that kind of guesses how long it'll take you. Again, depending on your level of experience, your background, your comfortability with the content, it might take longer. So do you want to flag that? But outside of that, I think that hopefully answers your question. Cool. Anyone else have a question here? Jake, I saw you.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. This was just about the Piazza community. I tried to log on with my email and it asked for like an email ending in @springboard.com. I don't know if that's a problem other people have had or if I'm just doing it wrong.
Yeah, great question. So you'll gain access to your course community once our enrollments close. So we've had a couple last minute students try to jump in. So as soon as we get those enrollments closed, you'll get an email prompting you to sign up. So don't worry about that just yet. No one should have access to that.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then question? Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So I was wondering, so it's project based. So how do we present these projects? Do we just, are we submitting papers? Like, is it, do we do a PowerPoint and like talk through it with someone? What, how does that work?
Yeah, so each mentor and mentee has a different relationship with that. So depending on what your capstone project is and what you're both comfortable with, it's kind of, again, up to your mentor. So it's just a submission. Some students choose to do, like an oral presentation as well. But I think our minimum requirements or the rubric is a presentation and like a written paper as well. But again, that's outlined in the rubrics kind of a little bit further. And again, depending on your mentor, they might have different qualifications or different kind of like overall ideas of what makes a really good capstone project. So something you and your mentor can kind of suss out together in your first mentor call.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah,
great question. Someone asked, if you finish early, can you start the career search early? It's a 6-month course, and I would say a majority of the students take all 6 months. So I think, if if you're going through the process quicker than others and you're at that stage earlier, you're more than welcome to go through that earlier. But I will say that I think 6 months is the normal time period. So the first 3 months are really, really content curriculum heavy. And then the second 3 months are more focused on the career search. You guys had a ton of great questions. Thank you so much for asking those. But we are actually 2 minutes over time, and I do want to respect everyone's end time. So I'm going to hold off on the questions for now, but I will type in my email here to the chat box. So if you guys still have follow-up questions that you would like answers to, reach out to me at molly@springboard.com, and I will hopefully answer those questions for you quickly. Otherwise, best of luck with the course. Excited for you all to join, and have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much for joining us live. Yep, thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.